work with companies like us, they prefer to work with coding bootcamp providers like us because traditional college education is not as revolutionary as the coding bootcamp training, because it's very hands-on and it's very dynamic. It changes very quickly, and also it focuses on placing you into a job after you complete. So coding bootcamps don't only teach you and then leave you there. As important as teaching you how to code, they will help you find a job in the tech industry. And that's what we do here in partnership with Wazoo, the company that is owned by Steve Wozniak, this Apple co-founder. We are partners with them in California, and we are also partners in Turkey as Youthink Academy and Wazoo. Everyone else who is on the call, can you please mute yourself? There's some background noise from some participants.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Ali Aur, if you can do that, you can also manage that. So yeah, this is what coding bootcamps do and what we do here in California. And we start a new cohort, a new class every 3 weeks here in the United States as Youthink Academy and Wazoo. But in Turkey, it's every month. There is a new class every month. So we have graduated almost probably close to 200 students, right, Ali, in Istanbul. And on Monday, a new cohort, a new class is starting. So we will now have Jessica also to introduce herself, and she's a very experienced tech recruiter. She has worked for companies like Microsoft, like Yahoo, eBay, Verizon is a large company here, and also Facebook. So, and she's in the heart of tech in San Francisco. She can give you some updates about, what the demand is, what the need is for tech talent here in the United States. And when you complete your bootcamp in Istanbul, of course, you can work, and our teams in Istanbul, including career service support people, will help you find jobs with tech companies in Istanbul, or for Arab-speaking students, they will help you find jobs with some other companies in the region, in Arab countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia. There is a huge demand in those countries too. Or European companies, they also employ a lot of software developers from Turkey. So you're depending on for which company and for which country you want to work. This can be Turkey, regional countries, or United States. So we would be happy to help you and guide you to find a job here. We already are in talks. We have some companies who are in need of software developers. Of course, software development jobs are very expensive here in the United States. Jessica will tell you more. She knows it better. But a typical software development, an average salary in the United States for a software developer is $110,000. This is average, not junior, not senior. Okay, when you combine all and take the average, it is 110. This is the government statistics. But junior software developers, when they graduate from a university or a bootcamp, and their first job, it is roughly about $70,000, between $60,000 to $80,000. And then mid-level, they get 100,000 and more. And seniors, of course, there is not a ceiling for senior, very experienced software developers. They can make anywhere between, I don't know, $150,000 to $250,000, or I think, Jessica, there are some developers who make even more than $250,000, right? If they are really top developers. These are not unseen salaries here. So you can we can help you find a job remotely from Turkey. You know, working remote is now the norm almost. Anybody is okay with it. Companies, if they find lower, you know, lower costs in other countries, like Latin America, like Eastern Europe, like Middle East, Turkey, Egypt, you know, other countries. And if they like the developers, the engineers, they are quite okay to hire them and, you know, have them work for them remotely. So you can get remote jobs from the United States. We will help you with that. And if there are any students who want to travel, move to America, you know, this can be in the form of HB1 visas. There is a visa type that is called HB1. So companies, American companies that want to hire international talent, they will apply for visas for you, and then you can come with this visa to United States. It's called HB1 visa. Or you can come as you know, students, either English language students, or you can apply for a community college, which is not very expensive as four-year degree colleges. Or you can even apply for tourist visas and come here, visit, and then you can apply for a work permit. You know, this is also one of the options. So these are all options that you can, and we will help you and guide you with all these. So yeah, this is what I wanted to mention. And then Jessica, I want to give you the floor to also address to the participants and talk about yourself and the tech employment scene here, and also how you help, and your experience with, you know, a lot of Indians, of course. That was very interesting when you mentioned in one of the demos we had. So like communication skills and everything, you found the Turkish students quite skilled in this sense. So it would be good to mention about that too. Yes, Jessica.
Okay, thank you. So yes, Mehmet is correct. I've been working in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area in tech since about 2009, and got into recruiting in 2010 in tech recruiting. And you know, I've seen the way things have changed in terms of when new technologies, like, you know, came into play. Um, and all the various, you know, changes within mobile app design and development. And I think right now we're at another turn in the market, right? So I'm sure you've seen or read the headlines about, you know, tech layoffs, but the reality is tech jobs are 25% higher this year than last year. So things are improving in the market. And you know, tech is the backbone of every company, so it's not going anywhere. I think there's a bit of a shift or a transition because, you know, AI technology is something that a lot of businesses are curious about. You know, everybody has a tech department these days, so there's no shortage of jobs. I think it's just you know, the market is going to change. And what we're seeing in terms of jobs is Canada. Canada is very popular right now in their tech scene. Jobs, they're not having any job issues whatsoever. Immigration laws are better than the United States, and there's just, you know, better laws for tech companies. So you'll find
Jessica, some
Canada
of the
where
participants are mentioning that the voice quality is not very good. Is there any chance to you
okay,
know, change the voice quality?
one second.
Can you hear me?
Yes, much
Can
better
you hear me
now.
better?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
now much better.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I was just saying that in Canada, the jobs market is actually robust. You know, laws are better for immigration. Their laws are better for business. So right now, you know, the job market is great in Canada and other parts of the world, right? So we just have, I think, a lot of companies in the United States racing to AI tools and understanding how AI can improve their business. So in the future, there's going to be a need for, you know, new digital products, and of course, rebuilding existing products as well, or platforms that the company has. So tech will only continue improving in the United States. And in terms of us guaranteeing jobs, we don't do that, but we can guarantee you have the skills to be employed.
Right.
For instance, I was working on a position recently for Block. Block is a digital finance and payments company. And they were looking for a localization automation engineer. And, you know, they were going to pay someone on contract because things, you know, are kind of a little weird to predict right now in our market, but they were going to hire them for $85 an hour. And this was not a senior role, right? I mean, it was definitely a mid-level position. You couldn't be a junior to step into it. But, you know, what Mehmet was saying in terms of the payment, I mean, the salaries and, you know, compensation packages, you can get more than he's talking about. I mean, getting
Jessica, 1 second, this $85 per hour means how much per month? It's almost $13,000 per month, right?
It would be something close to there. I think it comes up to what did you say yesterday? I didn't do the math on it, but
yeah, so
you know, we typically work 40 hours.
Yeah, 13,000 per month is almost 150,000 per year. So you were searching for a job like mid level software developer position, and the company wanted to pay $150,000 per year.
It comes to actually $14,733 a month.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's 176,000.
Wow.
And you know, when these companies throw in equity, you know, a lot of times like Microsoft or Facebook, as you mentioned, they'll have equity packages, you know, and it's not uncommon for very skilled principal level or senior level engineers to be, you know, getting $500,000 at least in equity, you know, 500,000. So
yeah, equity is like your premium on top of your salary that the company is giving you as shares, right? Like stock options.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And they vest typically over a 4-year period. But anyway, you know, I just feel like things are picking up, and AI, you know, is gonna breed or create more technologies, new industries, perhaps. So I feel like there's a bright future ahead, and things will only continue to improve. But you know, for now, yes, I'm working on tech recruiting, and I'm here to help you guys if you have any questions about the market or skills or top skills.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you. Yeah, so it's all from us here from California, Ali, and then I think Ali Almanea will
thank you
go
so much,
ahead and
Mr. Sadik,
and of course,
Jessica.
last thing I want to mention, Ali, there is a huge interest in the United States for coding bootcamps. Okay, so last year the number of coding bootcamp graduates surpassed the number of all computer science graduates from colleges, you know, so they are even more popular than colleges. And of course, coding with good teachers and a good program, good curriculum is very easy. It's not that hard, right, Ali Almanea, to learn, and he will tell you now how easy it is to learn software development. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ali, please go on.
So hello everyone, I'm Ali. My name is Ali, and I'm a computer engineer. I'm working now as a full stack developer, and also I will be the instructor for the Arab students in here in Youthink Academy. So the first thing I'm gonna explain about it, the full stack, what the meaning of the full stack. The full stack is the person who can make anything with the software, like a mobile application, web application, or desktop application. Those things we're gonna learn in our bootcamp. Also, how we can make a server in a backend section, or how we can connect the server with the database. This is the things we're gonna learn it in our bootcamp. And also, I'm gonna want to show you one thing. It's from here. Let me share my screen. So this is my screen. I think everyone see it now. We have let me show you our system for our learn management system. By the way, we cannot give you this as a system as a free, but just ask us to give it to you. I think Ali can give to the Ali, you can give to them the free demo class. Yeah. So as we see now, this is a free course for the front end for the first section. This is JavaScript. We can get a lot of things with the HTML and CSS. And to be more clear what the meaning of the full stack, so how they're gonna be our bootcamp in the full stack. The first part is gonna be the front end. What kind of the stack we're gonna learn in the bootcamp? It's gonna be like that. We're gonna start with HTML, which is a hypertext marketing language for making the structure of the website or maybe for the mobile application. And also we're gonna learn the CSS to make the style or change the colors and the things in our application. Also, we're gonna learn the JavaScript. It's gonna be the main programming language in our bootcamp. Then we're gonna learn one of the new version in the JavaScript language is gonna be TypeScript. Then we're gonna have one of the most famous framework of the JavaScript, which is gonna be React. After that, maybe we can have a workshop to get the difference between the React and Next and how we can make for example, our web application a server-side render. This is for a front end. Then we're gonna have the backend. In the backend, we're gonna learn how we can create a server with the RESTful API concept, with using one of the most famous framework of the JavaScript in the backend, which is gonna be Node.js. And also we're gonna learn how we can use the Express library with connecting with something is gonna be ORM, is equalize, how we connect any kind of database with our backend. This is all for the bootcamp now. And I finished Ali now. Thank you.
You done?
What about the databases? Which database technology are we going to use?
Okay, the database, we're going to use MySQL and MongoDB. But what's your name, please? Sir Aziz. Yeah, Aziz. We're going to have a new thing here. It's calling ORM. ORM, this is a technology to handle any kind of database with JavaScript. So let me be clear for this thing. For example, now I'm working with a company that gonna use Postgres database, for example, and I get the MySQL database in our bootcamp. So the question is, have I learned Postgres database or the queries to handle the Postgres database? The answer is no. With ORM, you can handle any kind of database with using ORM. And which kind of ORM we're gonna learn in our bootcamp is gonna be SQLized library. We can search on the internet about it. Okay. And thank you, Aziz, for your question.
Guys, is there any question about the curriculum?
Let me tell you a thing. For the people who cannot speak English, تقدروا تسألوني بالعربي. وفي كمان we have Ali, we have Ubaida. Ubaida, do you hear me?
One of our students asking how about mobile development.
So mobile development, okay. So, but let me, Ubaida, do you hear me? Can you open your cam, please?
I can't open my cam. I'm family gathering.
So by the way,
can you hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me introduce Ubaida. Ubaida is one of our previous student. And I think also he can answer you if you have any question in English or in Arabic. He's from Syria, by the way. And thank you for coming, Ubaida.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So I'm gonna back to the question, which is about the mobile development. For the mobile development, we're gonna learn the React Native. We're gonna create the mobile application with using React Native. Why React Native? Why we choose React Native? Because the people who learn or who can handle the things or the websites, the web application with the React, he can learn easy React Native. And the period time of learning React Native, I think 1 week is gonna be enough after you finish the React framework. So, yes,
There is one more question about Python.
Python. So Python, it's available in our bootcamp, but for now, the Python, we're gonna not learning in a full stack developer in our current bootcamp, but we're gonna open another bootcamp. Maybe it's gonna be a machine learning or artificial intelligence, and of course, we're gonna use Python. But for now,
yeah, Ali, Python and R is in the data science bootcamp that we have, and we will be starting that in the coming months.
inshallah.
So for now, for the full stack development, it's HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and then on the back end, it's SQL, NoSQL, and Node.js.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sadik.
But Ali, if they want to, we also have the option of Java and C#. So if there are any students who want to learn Java or C# on top of Node.js on the backend, they can always go to LMS and join one of the classes, with American students, and they will learn either Java or C#. So when they graduate from the bootcamp, Ali, they get lifetime membership, right, to the learning management system.
Yeah.
Which is always updated. There are new versions of each programming language. So you are free without paying anything. You can always jump in one of the classes that is going on with American students or Turkish students. And then you can update your information or learn a new programming language, which is in the learning management system. And the options for backend are, again, Node.js, C# or Java.
Thank you, Mr. Sadik.
I would like to mention about another benefits booking our bootcamps, which is, as you see the background of Mr. Ali, our classroom are under the hatchery co-working area. We are given every single students who book our.
You know what, Ali? Ali, you know what?
bootcamp.
Let me show them our co-working area. By the way, I'm there.
Yeah, please.
This is the places you can using. This place is
This is the hatchery, our
this is the hatchery
partner brand.
Yeah, and let me show you the classroom, our classroom. This is
please.
the classroom, and this is the classroom, guys. We're gonna build full stack in here. This is
Inshallah.
our classroom, and let me show you another thing.
Is this place in Istanbul?
Yeah, this is in Istanbul. We are located in Beylikdüzü. Came to visit us.
Beykent.
If you are in Istanbul.
Beylikdüzü, it's far.
So far, where are you?
Üsküdar.
1.5 hours with Metrobus.
Yeah, 1.5 hour, 3 hours if you want to count going back.
Sure. But it's totally worth just 3 months.
So what else do you have?
So I was saying every single students become our member of the hatchery co-working area. 724, you can go inside, you can study, you can work, you can use the kitchen, free coffee, free tea. Yeah, this is also a benefit. And after you graduate and you inshallah find a job, place a job, you can also get a discount from the hatchery to work here. And anything else, Mr. Ali?
So that's all, I think.
Will the scores be face to face?
Yes, in person, face to face. Yes, of course. It's gonna be it's a full boot camp. It's a boot camp.
So we have two options, of course, right? It's in person and online, both.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
our in-person class lasts 3 months and 1 month plus to complete a real-time project. And our online course lasts like 6 months and again plus 1 month to finish a project, full stack website or web application, mobile application. Then from United States, some of our HR specialists giving you a workshop about the career skills. We are creating your series for international and local market, and we are producing like mock interviews, and we are also adjusting your social media accounts like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. This is also benefits joining our bootcamps. And is there anything I forgot to mention, Mr. Ali, Mr. Sadik?
Yeah, I mean, this is career service support after you complete your bootcamp. Then the career support specialists like Jessica from the US, and then we have Ezgi in Istanbul, in Turkey. They will help you to, as Ali mentioned, get prepared for your interviews, interviewing techniques, and then prepare a nice CV for you and put you in touch with the companies that already know us. And of course, we have another partner in Turkey, which is Manpower Group. They are an American company, global. They have offices in every country, and they place thousands of people into jobs, including tech jobs. So they are our official partners in Turkey, and they will also help you find a job after you graduate from the bootcamp.
Thank you, Mr. Sadik. Guys, is there any question?
What about the payment?
Payment, about the payment, we have a special offer for the in-person class. You can pay some of the tuition during the education, and the rest you can pay after you graduate and after you get placed a job. But I would like to mention about the pricing and discount in person with you, please. Tomorrow we are gonna call you, every single of you, and we will offer you a special, very special discount.
So because in Turkey, there is, of course, some economic situation that is making life a little bit harder for people. So the price of this bootcamp in the United States, what we charge students is $13,000. Okay, so students here pay $13,000 to our bootcamp. In other bootcamps, it's even more, that are $15,000, $17,000 price tag bootcamps too. So in Turkey, normally our price point is $5,000, but because of the economic situation, with discussions with our friends in Turkey, Ali, Mehmet Bey, and everyone else, so we decided to bring the price a little bit down, significantly, actually, not a little bit. So as Ali mentioned, when you talk to him in person, he will give you some very good payment conditions. And also there is an option to pay them in installments, right? In taksit. In Arabic and Turkish, taksit is the same word. So you can pay in installments, and also some portion of it after you find your job, it will be delayed. Some of the payment will be delayed until you find a job. And then you can pay in small portions every month after you are paid your job.
Mr. Mehmet, may I ask you a question? This is Cesar talking. I want to ask that I wonder too much. I'm not finished for engineer. I'm not engineer. But if we are taking this bootcamp, how we can find job going to in front of them? Because there's only 3 months or 6 months any bootcamp. After that, they are choosing in the world so many universities. There is so many people graduate from the engineer software about this.
Yes.
How we can find job? And you my second question, you said us HP1 visa, work permit.
Yes.
Yes, and if we are applicate for this visa about USA, I think that it is coming on within 1 year, not so quick, right?
Okay, thank you very much. Good questions. Miss Cesar, are you Turkish or what nationality are you?
No, I'm from Turkish.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the first question, like there are so many people graduating from colleges, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't have any engineering background, and you just take a boot camp for 3 months or 6 months. If it's part-time, 6 months. If it's full-time, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And how can you find a job, right? This is the question, and
Yeah.
it's a very good question. So yeah, there are differences between a boot camp and college computer science education. So the main thing, there are a lot of differences, but the main thing is there is a lot of theory in college education, computer science education. It's too much theoretical, and there is very minimal practice, you know. On the other hand, in boot camps, we just teach you what the companies need, you know, your employers, what they need from you practically and hands-on. You will be learning those things, and it's very intensive every day. If it is full-time, it is 8 hours every day. And then there is a lot of practice. You have projects after each subject. And at the end of the bootcamp, you have your final project where you will create your website or app yourself. You know, you have an idea, and then you will do it, and you will present it to our instructors and judges. And then they need to make sure that you learned it very well. Okay. So coding, as I mentioned at the beginning, is really not that hard. Okay, you don't need to be an engineer or have any prior information, knowledge of software. I mean, especially front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript is really, I mean, anyone who finished high school math, who finished high school and knows high school math, mathematics, can learn, right? Like here, we have our students who are housewives. You know, they don't have any jobs, they don't have any college education, but they learn. We have Uber drivers, we have, you know, restaurant waiters. They come, they know nothing about software. In 3 months, they finish. And in Turkey too, I think, Ali, we had some housewives in Istanbul too.
Yes.
From last cohort, yeah.
Yeah, from our previous cohorts. So, Seza Hanım, it is not that hard. It is not that sophisticated. It's not what they call rocket science, you know. You can learn as long as you have a good curriculum, you have good instructors, and of course you spend time. You need to practice what you learn, okay, on a daily basis. And then, of course, after you finish your boot camp, you cannot. By the way, you shouldn't expect to have a job, you know, on day one after you finish. Okay. We have some students who are lucky and they find a job even while studying. You know, we have some students when they finish the front end, right? You can apply if you are part-time, if your education is part-time and you finished your front end, you can apply to jobs as a front-end engineer. You know, because our curriculum is flexible, you don't have to block a 4-hour when it is part-time. You don't have to block a 4-hour time of your day every day. You can take, you know, 20, 30 minutes. You can take 1 hour and then give a break, and then evening time, morning time, whenever you have time, you get on the learning management system, you listen to the classes, and then when you have a question, the instructor will help you online. They are available throughout the day on Slack channel. We use Slack as communication between students and the instructors. So when you study part-time, you can actually start applying jobs as front-end engineer. And we had some students, it was actually Ali's students in Istanbul. She found a job while she was still doing the boot camp, right?
Yeah.
Let me finish, Ali. Some students are lucky and they find a job very quickly. But sometimes it takes time, and we will help you. We will be with you throughout that time, our career service people. Usually in 6 months after you graduate, the rate, the number of people, percentage of people, students who find jobs is about 85%. Okay, in the United States, that's the average with these high salaries, you know, very high salaries. So in Turkey, this can be even more because the salaries are not that expensive, right, for international companies to hire you. And also a lot of European companies too, they hire from Turkey. There was a statement by this dernek, the Institution for Software Developers, Yazılımcılar Derneği. So she said last year in 2022, 30,000 software engineers moved to Europe from Turkey. Okay, so European companies hired them. So when there is a good software developer, European companies, they hire and give them visas, and they move to Europe to work there. Okay, so in Turkey, because of the low salaries, I mean, when I say low, compared to Europe and United States, I'm saying low. Otherwise, in Turkey range, you know, an average salary is, I think, for a software engineer as a start, it starts from $800, $700, $800 or $1,000. And when you are mid-level, senior level, it goes to $2,000, $3,000 per month. Yeah. So, Ali, yeah, please go ahead and whatever you want to mention.
Yeah, I just want to say my experience in one of the Turkish company when I was finding a job, Cesar. They asked, by the way, I'm computer engineer. I graduated from Turkish University, and also I graduated for this bootcamp. And I'm gonna tell you about my experience. The first question I get from them when I was in interview, they ask me about the bootcamp, not ask me about the university. They don't ask me which university you be graduate from it. They ask me, what's the bootcamp you get this a full stack developer? Can you tell me the name of this bootcamp? And they ask me about the stack and the things. After I tell them, they give me a task for these things. After I finish the task, I get the job.
Yeah.
Really. I feel that.
Very good point.
Yeah, I feel
very good point.
I feel like that really the 4 years I spent in my life to be a computer engineer, it's like was unnecessary things. Really, I didn't have any idea about the bootcamp. I wish someone to give me this idea for the bootcamp. Really, I do not know why I spent the 4 years in my life for being a computer engineer. And the things that I get in the bootcamp, I'm working with it now. Not the things I get in the university.
And in the US too, Cesar Hanım, we have a lot of students who graduated from computer science, but they come to bootcamp to improve their practical coding skills. You know, computer science, as I said, is more theory, and you have this type of companies which are called startups, you know, tech startups.
Yeah, I know.
So they need bootcamp developers, as Ali mentioned. If you are a graduate from a bootcamp, you are the person who will do the best job for them. On the other hand, computer science graduates are more for these industrial companies, you know, manufacturers like Koç, Sabancı, those people who have large factories and they have, you know, algorithm systems that they work with. So sometimes they will need computer science engineers who know theory, you know, more than practical coding skills.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mehmet.
And regarding also, Sezan'ım, regarding the HB1 visa, yeah, it is. This is something that the US government is allowing the American companies to hire from other countries. It is once a year. It is in March every year. But companies, of course, they apply for this to the government. They get a permission to apply to bring people from overseas. And then it is a government procedure that gives a chance to American companies to bring software developers or any other engineers or high-skilled people from overseas. And by the way, in America alone, there is still a shortage. There is a shortage of 1 million software developers in the United States alone. So if you go to Silicon Valley today, you'll see so many Indians, a lot of people coming from India to work as
Yeah.
software developers here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mehmet.
Welcome, Cezanne.
So guys, is there any further questions?
In Arabic and Turkish, we don't have a problem with it. Just ask.
Yeah, if anyone had any problem with English, feel free. My
Türkçe
Arabic is
konuşmak
şuey
isteyen
şuey.
kimse var mı?
Türkçe konuşmak isteyen varsa soru cevap kısmında.
أول اللي يريد يتكلم
Birçok
بالعربي
Türk
يتكلم.
katılımcı da var çünkü. Merak ettiğiniz bir şeyler varsa.
Araplar da Türkçe öğrendi galiba Türkiye'de. Herkes anlıyor. Ali'nin Türkçesi çok iyi mesela.
Yani evet, gayet başarılılar. Çok iyi konuşuyorlar. Anlamada da bayağı iyiler.
Mr. Mehmet, when we finish that bootcamp, we can be a junior or semi or mid, which one taking ours?
Yeah, good question again, Cezanne. You become, whenever you finish either a university or a bootcamp, you are a fresh graduate, so you are considered a junior engineer, junior software developer, or a junior software engineer.
How is going
So
up?
when you work for 1 or 2 more years, you become mid-level. Okay, in 2 years or maximum 3 years, you become mid-level engineer, and then after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you become a senior software engineer. So in tech industry, the time amount that you spend to become a mid-level and senior is much faster than other jobs, So yeah, you start as a junior software developer when you finish the bootcamp.
In my experience, the difference between the junior and the senior developer is the experience. If you get the experience more than 2 years, you are a senior. If not, that's all.
Yeah, understand. Same like karate. Need the most time. Okay.
One of the other advantages of our bootcamp is our curriculum is in English language. So when you complete our bootcamp, you will be handled software English. It will be great when you apply international jobs with a great English, I think, Mr. Sadik?
Yes, exactly. Of course, the language of programming is English, right? So the terminology, the expressions, the words, they're all English. And when you learn from an English curriculum, you have a better chance to be, like a global digital worker, a global software developer, and then you can get hired by any company in the world. And because our instructors are bilingual or trilingual, like Ali, he speaks Turkish, English, and Arabic. Whenever you have a problem with English, they can always use the other language, your native language, either Turkish or Arabic. But it's important, as you mentioned, Ali Aur, that you learn the English terminology of software engineering very well. And also, Ali, one more thing about our curriculum. I'm saying this honestly, I've seen most of the curriculums here in the United States, and our curriculum, which is in partnership with WazU, Steve Wozniak, he designed it in a perfect way. And the difference is, the distinct thing is how much time you spend for each subject, right? So the curriculum, of course, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and then SQL, NoSQL, Node.js, and then we have supporting coursework, right? Ali Almanea, like AWS, that you will learn Amazon Web Services, you will learn responsive design. Yeah. Agile project management is also very good for you to know. So all these are designed in a very effective and efficient way on how many hours you spend on each subject. right? The curriculum is designed that way, and you will see this in the learning management system. The lessons are designed that way. So this is the best one that I have seen, even in the United States. That's also a huge curriculum advantage. And then, of course, you get the certificate from Youthink Academy powered by WazU, which is an American certificate that also gives you a huge advantage in finding jobs internationally.
So we are about to finish our meeting for tonight. Is there any question, guys, before we close the meeting?
5 more minutes. Türkçe sormak isteyen, soru sormak isteyen, Arapça bil Arabi. How do you say? Any questions in Arabi, Ali?
أي سؤال باللغة العربية أي سؤال
أي سؤال بالعربي?
سؤال
So
Arabic.
Jessica is here too. If you have any questions to her.
Yeah, definitely.
She will try to speak in Turkish and Arabic too. Evet, soru yok galiba.
Hocam
Soru.
merhabalar, ben Edirne'den şey yapıyorum.
Fehmi.
Türkçe de İngilizce de sorabilirim ama şey değil.
Türkçe
Yani.
sor, bir de Türkçe konuşulmuş
Aynen,
olsun.
bir de Türkçe olsun.
Evet.
Şey soracağım, şimdi dersler online için konuşuyorum, İstanbul'da olmadığım için soruyorum. Dersler hangi saatler aralığında ve haftada kaç gün? Bunu merak ediyorum. Bir diğer sorumsa bu özellikle vurguladığınız bu Steve Wozniak'ın eğitim sistemin yani öğretim
WazU.
yani onu kullanıyoruz ya.
Hı hı.
Bu şimdi herhalde burada daha etkili bir öğrenme falan sunuyor, yanlış anlamadıysam. Önemli bir nokta zaten Steve Wozniak deyince bambaşka bir şey konuşuyor oluyoruz o arada. Bootcamp bitti, her şey bitti diyelim. Bundan sonra şirketlere başvururken işte biz şuradan Youthink Akademi'den aldık, işte bu yönetim yöntemini kullanıyorlar falan gibi bir bu konuda bilgileri olduğu zaman farklı mı yaklaşıyorlar? Yani bu etkili oluyor mu iş bulmamızda da? Onu merak ediyorum. Yani çünkü bu öğrenim, eğer bu yöntem çok etkiliyse ve sen bundan eğitim aldıysan şirketlerde herhalde bu konu hakkında iyi bir şeyler düşünüyorlardır diye düşünüyorum. Nasıl?
Evet, güzel soru. Ben birkaç şey söyleyeyim Ali, sonra sen devam edersin. Şöyle Fehmi, şimdi bu müfredat burada Amerika'da ve Silikon Vadisi'nde insanların öğrendiği bootcamp'in birebir aynısı. Tamam, yani Silikon Vadisi'nde gençler ne öğreniyorsa bir bootcamp'te
Evet.
siz de Türkiye'de aynı programı, aynı müfredatı öğrenmiş oluyorsunuz. Ve bu sertifikanızda da yazacak 700 saatlik bir program. Şimdi farklı bootcamp'ler var. Amerika'da da var mesela 200 saat, 250 saatlik bootcamp'ler de var. Bize göre yeterli değil o saat. O kadar miktar. 700 saatlik yoğun ve çok dolu bir programla aynen Silikon Vadisi'nde insanların öğrendiği şeylerin birebir aynısını ve gene Amerikalı hocalardan, yani burada öğretildiği şekilde Learning Management System'den alıyorsunuz. Hocalar da bizim işte Ali gibi destek oluyorlar size. Dolayısıyla o bootcamp mezuniyetini demin Ali'nin belirttiği gibi özellikle startuplar, yani startuplar da şu anda çok daha fazla mühendis kiralıyor, yazılımcı hire ediyor, yani işe alıyor. Onlar böyle iyi bir bootcamp'ten mezun olduğunuzu gördüklerinde mutlaka şey vereceklerdir. Tercih hakkı vereceklerdir size. Yani bir de Amerika'dan bir bootcamp'ten, hele Steve Wozniak'ın işte o learning management sistemi gördüğünüzde Ali gelip orada eğer ziyaret ederseniz size gösterir detaylı. Yani böyle o 4 saatlik şeyler halinde her gün 4 saat hangi konuları öğreneceğiniz çok güzel bir hap gibi yerleştirilmiş gün gün. Ondan sonra her
Yani
gün onları
şöyle ben eğitimi anlatayım Sadik Bey. Bizim şimdi online eğitimimiz öncelikle gene WazU'nun özel bir platformu olan Learning Management System üzerinde oluyor. Bu sistemde dersler canlı bir ders değildir. Önceden kaydedilmiş kısa kısa videolar vardır. Bu videoların altında işte açıklamalar vardır. Kodu size açıklar veya işte öğrendiğiniz dile göre. Sonra hemen size bir görev verir ve o kodu yazdırır, uygulama yaptırır. Bu eğitimin en büyük özelliği bu zaten. %80 oranında eğitim boyunca eğitimin %80'i uygulama yaparak geçer. Siz bu eğitimi tamamladığınızda bütün özgüveniniz oturmuş olur. Birçok proje tamamlamış olursunuz. Birçok kod yazmış olursunuz. E, Dersler canlı olmadığı için her hafta size atanan bir konu olur. Sistemde bu konu size açılır. Bunu sadece biz tamamlamanızı isteriz. Bunu şart koşarız. Ama bunu hangi gün, hangi saatte tamamladığınız, çalıştığınız önemli değildir. Buna ek olarak her hafta 1 saat, 2 saat bizim eğitmen ve mentorlarımızla birebir canlı ders yaparsınız. Burada da anlamadığınız kısımlar olursa onları sorarsınız. Ödevleriniz oluyor sistemde, onların üzerinden geçilir. İşte ek mentorluk sağlanır. Öyle bir avantajı da var. Mezun olduktan sonra da gene bu sisteme ömür boyu erişim hakkınız olur. E, Geriye yönelik tekrar yapabilirsiniz. Bazı programlama dilleri seçmelidir mesela. Mezun olmak için hepsini almazsınız. Bunlar ama sonradan da mezun olduktan sonra çalışabilirsiniz. Ya da Silikon Vadisi'nde işte bu eğitim sürekli güncelleniyor. Otomatikman bizim sistemimiz de güncelleniyor. Yeni bir programlama dili çıkar, yeni bir güncelleme gelir. Yani bunların hepsine ömür boyu erişirsiniz. Bunların hepsi birer faydadır. Vozio'nun tanınırlığı olarak Amerika'da ve Avrupa'da tabii ki çok daha tanınıyor. Yani özellikle Apple'ın kurucu ortağı olması Steve Wozniak'ın çok büyük bir artı sağlıyor. Yani ne
Efsane
bileyim,
adam yani dünyadaki en iyi mühendis gibi kabul ediliyor şu anda. Hala televizyonlara yaşı bayağı olmasına rağmen çıkarıyorlar
Evet.
burada her gün televizyonlara çıkarıyorlar.
Yani
evet.
ya tabii benim de zaten asıl amacım aslında Avrupa'ya veya Amerika gibi hani başka yerlere gitmek zaten de. Ya o zaman bu dersler daha çok böyle flipped lesson dedikleri ders var ya ona benziyor biraz. Yani derste önceden hazırlanıyorsunuz. Sorularınız bir şeyleriniz olduğu zaman işte hocayla karşılaştığınızda derse girdiğinizde eksik kaldığınız yerleri şey yapıyorsunuz. Bu bayağı popüler bir yani daha popülerleşmeye başlayan bir ders yöntemi aslında.
Yani bu şöyle, hani bazı eğitimler vardır ya, diyelim girersiniz, böyle video vardır. Videoda bir eğitmen anlatır. Siz onu izlersiniz. Çıkarsınız. Ondan sonra bütün işte pratik yapacaksan kendin yap. İşte ne bileyim daha detaylı bir açıklama gerektiği zaman
Ya, bunun
bulamazsın. Bu
için
öyle
kursa
değil.
gitmene gerek yok ki. Udemy kursu işte bu dediğim.
Evet,
Aynen,
evet.
aynen.
Yani bu kesinlikle ondan farklı. Ben sizinle
Anladım
her
ya bu.
birinizde zaten şeyi paylaşacağım. Demo. Göreceksiniz sistemi. Böyle videolar şeydir. 2 dakika, 3 dakikalık videolardır. Böyle part part'tır. Bir ders mesela 11-12 bölüme ayrılır. Kısa bir videoda konuyu anlatırlar. Sonra altta onu biraz daha genişletirler ve hemen size o kodu yazdırır orada sistem. Özel alanı var. Yani sizin kendinizin hiçbir şey yapmanıza gerek yok. Bütün
Anladım.
önce öğretiyor, sonra açıklıyor, daha da oturtuyor kafanızda. Sonra da diyor ki hadi bunu pratik et. Yani
Bir de
eğitimi sana verip
Ben
bitirmiyor.
de
önemli bir şey de Ali, İngilizcesinde hani hocalar Amerikalı olduğu için eğer şey olursa herhangi bir şekilde anlamadığınız bir kısım olursa metin olarak da tekst olarak da her dersin dökümü var. Orada yazılı olarak da tekst olarak da okuyup perçinleştirebilirsiniz yani o olur
tam
da
onu
anlamadığınız
soracaktım
yerler
ben de.
olursa.
Mehmet Hoca
Evet,
bunu soracaktım ben de. Şey diyecektim. Evet ben çok iyi İngilizce anlayabilirim. Onda 10 anlarım. Ama terim anlamlı şeylerin birçoğunu bilmeyebilirim. Ee, Yani evet çok iyi konuşamayabilirim ama onda 10 anlarım yani
evet.
anlatılanları. Ancak terim anlamlı şeyleri dediğim gibi kaçırabilirim. Bunlar için tekst vereceğinizi söylediniz.
Tekst
En
olarak
azından
var,
teksti
evet.
zaten
Tekst
şimdi
olarak
yapay
var.
zeka çeviriyor zaten hani
Aynen.
konuşma şeklinde bile çevirebiliyor. Onu bile
Aynen.
kullanabiliriz ama
O hazır tekstler olarak var. Bir de hocalar da işte Ali'nin bahsettiği gibi her an size destek vermek için yani gün boyu bir sorunuz olduğunda hemen sorup cevap alıyorsunuz. Anlatıyorlar size. Artı bir de haftada bir de işte one on one sadece size özel e, yarım saat, bir saat ne kadar sürerse o haftaki konuları gözden geçiriyorsunuz. Ondan sonra anlamadığınız yerler varsa tekrar soruyorsunuz. Yani o mezun olana kadar her hafta birebir hocalar sizinle bir seans yapıyor. Mutlaka öğrenmenizi sağlıyoruz yani bütün konuları.
Şey sorusunun cevabı şey yapamadım da bu haftada ne kadar online'da ne kadar saatte dersler kaç saat hangi gün oluyor?
Şöyle
Veya-
söyledim aslında şöyle oluyor. Her hafta size
Evet.
belli bir konuyu atıyor eğitmenimiz. Bu da ortalama 20
Söylediğiniz
saate
evet evet
denk
günlük
geliyor.
sadece şey yapın ha.
4 saat,
Gün
günde 4
şöyle.
saat.
Günde 4 saat fakat yani şey yok. Bir zaman atanmış bir zaman yok. Gün
Yani
yok.
blok
Yani
4
siz
saat olmasına gerek yok yani. Diyelim ki sabah
Anladım.
8'den 12'ye kadar
Peki
her gün değil.
hocayla
Müsait
hocayla
olduğunuzda.
hocayla da şöyle
hocayla
işte randevulaşıyorsunuz. Hocamız
ha
zaten
öyle
sürekli
belli bir gün
WhatsApp'tan
yok yani.
tabii siz bir randevu oluşturuyorsunuz. Eğitmenimiz takvimine ekliyor. Toplantı yapıyorsunuz. Zoom'dan oluyor, Google Meeting'den oluyor işte.
Anladım.
Böyle yani tamamen serbestsiniz o konuda da.
Tamam.
Bir
Sadece
de
randevu
bu
oluşturuyorsunuz.
sadece hafta içi günleri 5 günü hesap ettiğinde günde 4 saat oluyor. Hafta sonu da ben gene çalışırım vakit ayırırım diyorsan o zaman haftada 2,5 saat 3 saat arası bir şey oluyor yani.
Evet.
Harcaman gereken vakit. Online olan part-time versiyonda.
Ya evet part-time hani özellikle çalışan ekstra
Tabii
sorumlulukları olan insan
çalışanlar
için
için veya okuyanlar için. Öyle bir de işte front end'i bitirdiğinizde işlere başvurmaya başlayabilirsiniz part-time alıyorsanız.
zaten ben full
Ee,
stack istemem yani. Front-end sadece istiyorum. Full stack
front end,
zor geliyor
ya
bana.
evet front end de alabilirsin. Full stack alırsan front end'i bitirdikten sonra işe başvurmaya başlayabilirsin. Sonra tabii full stack öğrendiğinde şöyle avantajı oluyor. 3 ayrı pozisyona başvurabiliyorsun. Yani şirketler yazılımcı pozisyonu açtıklarında ya front-end mühendisi
Doğru.
arıyorlar, ya back-end mühendisi arıyorlar
Ya
veya full
hocam
stack mühendisi arıyorlar.
doğru ama yani ben
Dolayısıyla
full stack
full,
eğitimi almıştım geçen sene bir yerden ama
evet,
6 ay kadar sürdü ama tabii benim yoğunluğum falan derken o kadar bir koptum ki anlatamam yani. Sonra çok
evet.
gözüme çok büyük ve çok zor geldi. O yüzden full stack değil de sadece bir yere daha bir yer konusunda uzmanlaşmak daha mantıklı geliyor artık. O yüzden.
Olur front-end alıp sonra işe girdikten sonra
Doğru.
gene part-time olarak back-end'ini de ayrıca alabilirsin yani.
Aynen.
Süremizi biraz aştık. Başka bir soru varsa
Teşekkürler hocam. Çok sağ olun.
alalım. Yavaştan kapatalım arkadaşlar.
Chat'ten bir soru geldi Emre'den galiba.
Evet. Ali hocam açıklamak ister misin bunu? Yüz yüze derslerle yani yüz yüze dersin avantajı ne online'a göre?
Tabii ben açıklama yaparım. Şimdi siz biliyorsunuz gibi arkadaşlar ne zaman bir şeyimiz varsa yüz yüze dersimiz varsa daha tercih ediyorum. Ben de daha tercih ediyorum ama isterseniz online da bizim için fark etmez. Siz hemen yani de şey yapabilirsiniz. Direkt hocaya sorabilirsiniz. Ne sorunuz varsa sorabilirsiniz. Bir de biraz şey daha oluyor hani siz ne diyorsunuz? Canlı biraz şey oluyor.
Daha enerjik böyle
Bu
motivasyon mu daha
tamamen tercih
yüksek?
meselesi
Tercih.
aslında.
Tercih
Kimisi fiziksel öğrenmeyi tercih ediyor, kimisi online öğrenmeyi tercih ediyor. Burada Amerika'da mesela bir tane survey gördüm, bir araştırma. Öğrenciler özellikle gençler yani üniversite öğrencileri yani %60'a yakını online öğrenmeyi tercih ediyor şu aşamada. Yani biraz alıştılar ona gençler. Daha rahat geliyor. Yani orada evinde yatak odasından işte açıyor şeyini rahat rahat izliyor mesela. Anlamadığı zaman tekrar dönüyor bir daha izliyor. Böyle flexible ondan sonra personalized biraz. Comfort zone'unda işte böyle sınıf ortamına gidip yani bu bir tercih meselesi. Bazısı da ben de hala öyleyim tabii old school biraz. Fiziksel olan şeyleri daha
Bizim
fazla tercih
yüz
edebiliyoruz.
yüze olan eğitimimizin en büyük avantajı galiba 3 ay gibi kısa bir sürede tamamlanması full
Tabii.
time olduğu için öyle diyebilirim. Onun dışında online ve yüz yüze eğitimimiz tamamen aynıdır. Aynı müfredattır, aynı konulardır. Yani hiçbir fark yoktur. Dediğiniz gibi tercih meselesi oluyor biraz.
Evet, başka soru yoksa kapatalım. Teşekkür ediyoruz herkese katıldığınız için. Ondan sonra umarım faydalı olabilmişizdir.
İyi
Herkese
akşamlar.
iyi günler Los
Thank you for your
Angeles'tan.
İyi
participation.
akşamlar.
Thank you for your coming.
İyi günler.
Selamlar, bay bay.